Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Many of you, if you've been following my Instagram, would be aware that I am actually now in Canada. Yes, I am here in Canada and it's so lovely. The weather is incredible. First of all, I have to tell you that I spent over 3 hours at the airport in Montreal when I arrived last week. More to come on this later in the video. Many of you may not know that fully vaccinated travelers to Canada no longer have to do the government's, quarantine or the 14-day self-isolation, which is incredible. This change came into effect on the 5th of July, 2021. I arrived in Canada on the 6th of July and went through the process firsthand. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing you exactly what I went through, from what testing requirements that I took on before I left Nigeria to what documentation did I have to provide for travel to Canada, and also what exactly happened on arrival in Canada. All this I'm sharing to really help those that are planning to travel to Canada in the next few weeks and months whilst fully being vaccinated. First things first, I traveled from Nigeria to Canada via Frankfurt. So I had a stopover in Germany. I had to do a PCR test 72 hours prior to travel to Canada, within 72 hours prior to travel to Canada. Because I was transiting, I had to ensure that my PCR test was valid 72 hours before my last flight to Canada. So before at the point at which I was in Germany, my PCR test had to be within 72 hours of that particular time. So key to note is that I needed to ensure that the 72-hour window was prior to my flight to Canada from Germany, not prior to my flight from Nigeria. Key to note that Canada made no exemptions for pre-entry testing for fully vaccinated travelers. So even though I've been vaccinated and I'm exempt from other things on arrival in Canada, I wasn't exempt from pre-travel COVID testing. All my documents were actually checked before I left Nigeria. So that is my PCR test was also checked. When we're about to board our flight from Frankfurt to Montreal, Canada, our vaccination cards were checked again. The lady checked which particular vaccine we took, because it's important that not all vaccines will be exempt from the quarantine and the isolation. So I had my 2 doses of AstraZeneca, which fell under the exemption list, which was fine. The lady also checked our COVID test, our PCR test, our pre-entry test, to ensure that it was valid within 72 hours of that particular flight to Canada. After checking both, she actually put a red sticker on my passport, which I believe was done to help identify us as fully vaccinated travelers in Canada. Bear in mind that she also checked that the vaccination had been done prior to 2 weeks before travel. So if I had done my last dose was taken after, within 2 weeks of travel, I would not be exempt from travel. But I took mine maybe a month before, so I was valid for the exemption. So she put the red sticker on there. So on arrival in Montreal, Canada, we headed towards border control, and guys, the queue was absolutely insane. I remember them actually putting a sign saying, 15 minutes wait time. It looked like there were like 200 people on this queue. There was no way it was going to happen in 15 minutes. So I just, buckled up and just got ready for the wait. A lot of people had connecting flights and they were not even prioritized. Everybody had to queue and wait. I think the line was also insane because this was the first day or so of this new implementation of vaccinated travelers being allowed to be exempt. So I feel like border control was a little bit, obviously taking their time a little bit more to ensure that they were redirecting people properly. So I think that's the reason why it was just insane. I would say we spent over an hour or an hour and a half to 2 hours, actually probably closer to 2 hours on the queue. We were then ushered to these machines where we had to sort of like put out in our information, date of birth, passport information, everything was scanned. The machine also took a photo of us. I think you also had to sort of declare whether you had certain money or whether you were bringing in goods into the country. And after this was done, we're issued with a little slip, and the slip had like our photos on it and just some codes which you had to present to the border agent. Upon getting to the border agent, we provided our slip to the agent. He requested to see our vaccination cards, and he checked again to ensure that it was, the timings of the vaccination was done way before 2 weeks before the flight. He also checked our PCR test, that it was actually within 72 hours of our travel to Canada. Upon verifying all the information, the agent removed the red sticker on our passport and actually placed a blue one instead. So that blue sticker was put on by the agent at the airport, right? He then provided us with this document, which was a sort of like a guidance notice for everything. It says mandatory requirements for fully vaccinated travelers without COVID-19 symptoms arriving in Canada by land, by and air. This was really great because it was very detailed in terms of what you need to, like your testing requirements, monitoring signs and symptoms, what to do after arrival if something happens to you, a lot of documents in terms of like the phone numbers of the public health authorities, also just a lot of information here. I'll leave this document, like pictures of it, so you guys can see this quite detailed. He also told us to make our way to do the day 1 test. I didn't know that it was actually a testing requirement at the airport on arrival for all passengers that have been vaccinated. I just thought you were just exempt and you could leave the airport. But he told us that we had to do a particular test at the airport. This test was actually free, right? So we didn't have to pay for the test. He informed us that the testing would take place at an airport hotel, and we will get our results within 24 hours, and that we didn't need to wait for the result, and we can go, leave the airport after testing. After leaving the border agent, we made our way through baggage reclaim. We had to actually go and get our baggage first, then go through customs, then make our way to get our day 1 test done. After picking up our baggage and going through customs, we went on a long, very, very long walk. I'm not going to lie to you guys. This walk was so long, and obviously carrying all our suitcases, carrying a baby, it was intense. Here in Canada, off to get a test, even though I've been fully vaccinated. I actually didn't know I had to do a test, but apparently all passengers have to do it, even if you've been vaccinated. We made it to an area just before the testing area where we could actually leave our baggage. It was like a baggage check. We could put our baggage there and they'll give us like a baggage tag, and we could make our way up the escalators to this hotel, this airport hotel, to get our testing done. On arriving at this particular venue, we had to scan a QR code to a particular site where we had to register our information prior to actually taking the test. Here on this site, we had to put in a lot of information, like passport information, phone number, address, just a lot of information. We then met with an agent who verified all the information we provided, then confirmed that it was all okay, and then directed us to go and meet a clinical agent that would actually take the sample for the COVID test. After this, we were actually then given this card here. It's like, okay, I can show the other side actually. They put my sticker information on the other side, but it's like a passport for COVID-19. If you can see this, testing. Basically says here that delivery of the result can take up to 72 hours. And yeah, so we'll get information within some 2 hours in our inbox. The sticker here, actually, there's a sticker. I'll put it up, actually, just remove some information on there. So that particular sticker has a passcode, and once you get the email from public health or this platform, Byron, that is, issuing the results for the test, you have to put in this particular password in there to retrieve your result. So I received my result at around 1 a.m. the next day, which was less than 12 hours after I took the test. Result was negative, which is great. Yes, guys, I believe the government is making people do the test again, just to, even though you've been vaccinated, just to ensure that you're not transmitting the, I guess, so that they can actually like control the wave and see who's transmitting COVID-19, and whether or not them piloting this exemption rule for vaccinated travelers actually makes sense, right? Anyways, guys, that is my video sharing with you my experience traveling to Canada whilst being fully vaccinated. I really hope this video has been useful for many of you thinking about coming. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching. If you have any other requirements or videos you'd like me to film, I'm going to be in Canada for a little while, so make sure you send your requests to me and I'll be creating those videos for you. Thank you again for your support as always. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and give this video a huge thumbs up, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.